Hey, how is it going? Lee Hayward here with the Total Fitness Bodybuilding video chat for Friday the 13th of all days. Friday the 13th, and here we are for another video chat. Anyway, welcome. If you're brand new to these video chats, I want to welcome you. The way this works is basically I'm going to be hanging out here for the next hour, just doing a live Q&A. So if anything that you want to discuss with regards to fitness, nutrition, building muscle, losing fat, any specific questions you have about your workouts, your diet, anything along those lines, hey, feel free to post those questions, comments, topics of discussion in the video chat window, and I'll do the best that I can to help you out over the course of today's video chat. And always, before we get started, I just want to do a quick little audio video check. Make sure that you can hear me. If this is coming through loud and clear, please type into the chat window and let me know that you can actually hear me, see me, and all that good stuff. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure everything is a go here. Loud and clear. Thank you, Dan. All right, so no doubt, unless you are like living under a rock, you've all heard about the whole coronavirus fiasco and chaos and panic and everything else that's going on in the world. And a lot of people have been asking, you know, okay, the gyms are going to be closing and things like that, right? Our gym's going to be closing, and maybe in some places they are. In fact, on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Facebook page, on our private group we have there, some people were already saying, hey, where they live, the gyms are closed, and they're wondering, you know, what are some alternatives that they could do for workouts during this time when everything's kind of on lockdown and we're trying to control the spread of the virus and stuff. And that's something that is a legit concern, right? I mean, obviously it is, because depending on where you live and how serious it is, it could quite possibly come to that. You know, your gym may actually close, and if it does, it definitely sucks, right? I mean, but in the greater scheme of things, I'm sure it's there for a reason and a purpose. And like I say, it'll probably help in the greater scheme of things. But in the short term, it definitely does suck. But you know what? You can make progress without going to the gym. And that's the cool thing about it. You can still keep yourself fit. You can still build muscle, lose fat, improve your health and fitness without going to the gym. If you have a home gym, that's fantastic. I mean, even if it's a basic home gym, just some basic free weights, you know, a barbell with weights and bench press or something like that, that's great. If you have some sort of universal home gym machine, that's great. But even if you don't have any type of exercise equipment, you can still get a good workout with just body weight exercises, or maybe like an adjustable set of dumbbells is what I'm trying to say. Like, you can still make do. And I'll probably be posting some new videos about this, you know, some sample workouts that you can do at home with very limited equipment. But I've got a ton of them on the channel right now. Like, if you go to the main channel page, leehayward.com, Total Fitness Bodybuilding, or look, I'm getting brain farted here. The Total Fitness Bodybuilding page, right? Lee Hayward's Total Fitness Bodybuilding. That's what I meant to say. If you go to the main channel page, in the playlist tab, open that up, and there are bodyweight workouts in there, and there are dumbbell workouts. And in fact, back a while ago, I had put together a full video playlist covering dumbbell exercises for all your major muscle groups. So even if you just have a set of dumbbells at home, and if you don't, then you can pick them up at pretty much anywhere, right? From, like, you know, department stores, you can buy dumbbells. You can go to Walmart and pick up a set of dumbbells. Like, you can get dumbbells and weight sets at pretty much anywhere. So with that, you can basically train all your major muscle groups. And I take you through an entire training series, workout by workout. So it's chest workout, back workout, shoulder workout, arm workout, leg workout, like everything covered in a full playlist, and stuff that you can do at home with nothing more than a set of dumbbells. So, I mean, that's a great program that you could follow along with. There's also sample body weight workouts, but you don't have to use this as an excuse to throw in the towel and say, oh, I can't go to the gym, so I'm not going to work out. And then I'm not going to work out, so I'm going to eat like crap. Because, I mean, if I'm not working out, what's the point of eating good? And then you just let all this negativity spiral out of control. And before you know it, like, whatever progress you were making, now you've just backtracked and lost it all because of, you know, you let one thing spiral out of control, right? And we don't want to do that. Right? Do the best you can with the situation at hand. Like, there's always something that you can do, right? There's always something. I mean, a simple body weight workout of push-ups and squats, some ab work, crunches and planks. If you have a pull-up bar, you can do pull-ups. If you have resistance bands, you can do all kinds of exercises with those. I mean, there's always something to do. There's always something you can do. You can get outside and go for a walk or a jog or a bicycle ride or something. Like, you don't have to be limited to just going to the gym. And if the gym does get closed, I'm not saying it is. I mean, it may be for you. Hey, if you're watching this right now and your gym is closed because of this whole coronavirus thing, type in the chat window. Let me know. It'd be interesting to see if anybody's gym is actually closed up. Because I know there was one guy, a member of our Facebook group, said that his gym was. He's over in, I think it's in somewhere in the Middle East. I'm not sure if it was Dubai or somewhere like that. But anyway, somewhere over there, I think it was. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. I'm just trying to remember through the comments and then the feedback. I mean, we've got hundreds of members in there. So, I mean, but I think it was somewhere over in the Middle East that his gym was closed due to the whole virus thing. But if yours is closed, let me know. All right. So with that being said, let's kind of jump in here now and answer some questions, right? This is, let's try and have a bit of positivity on a Friday the 13th in a world full of uncertainty. Let's try and have some positivity going on here. We have Mr. Fake Natty joining us, or he's the last Fake Natty. Good for you. All right, you're joining in. We have Dan tuning in. We have Jamie with a big thumbs up. Steve's tuning in. Luciano's tuning in. He says, Lee, you're looking lean. What's up? I'm lean because I am actually prepping. This is something that I wasn't really planning on doing, but it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. But I've been getting lean over the past 2 years, right? Like, this isn't something new. Like, a lot of people see me and they're like, man, you lost so much weight. Like, what are you doing? But this is like a gradual process that's been happening over the past couple of years. I've been gradually, just through consistency in the gym, consistency with my nutrition, consistency with my cardio. I'm not going to extremes. Like, I'm not following some crazy cutting diet or anything like that, but just consistently leaning out a little bit over time. And it's getting to the point now where my body fat is dipping down low enough, okay, that I have some starting to look lean, if you know what I mean. Like, visualize this. Imagine if I said, like, can you lose 1 pound of body fat this month? Like, would that be hard to do? 1 pound of body fat. This is 1 measly pound. Could you do it? He's probably, yeah, I probably could. Just cut out some of the crap that I'm eating, do a little bit more cardio. You know what? I could probably lose 1 pound. All right, great. Could you do it again next month? Right? Could you lose 1 pound of body fat next month? And you think, you know what? Maybe I could. Maybe I still eat clean, still keep consistent with cardio. Maybe I'll lose another pound next month. What happens if you did that for like a couple of years in a row? That's basically what I've been doing over the past couple of years. I've been averaging about 1 pound or 2 of body fat per month. Nothing drastic. It's not crazy. It's not extreme. I'm not depriving or feeling, out of sorts or out of whack. Like, oh my God, I can't stand dieting. No, it's not like that. But I've been doing that consistently over the past couple of years, and I've dropped about 30 pounds over the last 2 years or so. So I'm to the point now where my body fat is lower than it has been in years. Like, lower, it's as low now as back when I was competing in bodybuilding competitions. And I decided, you know what? For the heck of it, I'm going to go ahead and compete in bodybuilding again. I'm going to make a comeback in the Masters over 40 category. And we have our provincial championships coming up next month. It's actually technically 3 weeks out right now. So it's kind of a last minute spur of the moment decision. I only decided this like a little over a week ago that I was going to do it. But I'm like, hey, if I make the push for it, I can be contest ready within a month. So over the past week, I've actually kind of went tightened up my normal clean eating diet, and I've tightened it up more to put the push on so that over the next few weeks I can drop the weight that I need to. I need to drop about approximately 10 pounds over the next, within the next 3 weeks to make weight. And I know that I can do that with stricter diet, and basically just more consistency in the gym, and just of course, then, dehydration beforehand, water manipulation to make weight before. But I definitely think that I am in striking distance of doing that. So I have to get down to 175 pounds to make the height weight cutoff for classic physique, which is what I'm going to be competing in. I'm going to be doing classic physique. I'm actually going to be doing both because you're in the Federation, the Canadian Physique Alliance. You're allowed to do both. So my main one that I want to go for is the classic physique, but I'm also going to enter in and do bodybuilding as a middleweight competitor as well. So I'll be doing the Masters division for classic physique, Masters division for the middleweight, and just see how things go. Now, the way it is right now with all this, coronavirus things, I mean, they're saying the show is a go, and I mean, I'm still training, pushing forward just the same as if it is a go, but it's a possibility in 3 weeks' time that it could be canceled. Who knows? I mean, this thing is kind of spreading fast, and there's all kinds of, so like, who knows what's going to happen? But I mean, as of now, I'm 3 weeks out from a show, right? And I'm pushing forward. So I'm looking forward to doing it again. I mean, I'm not going to be as good as I was. I know that. Like, I've got flaws with my physique that I didn't have back when I was competing before. Like, I've had muscle tears. I've got loose skin that I never had before. Like, father time is showing its signs, right? If you know what I mean. But it's the best that I've looked personally in years. And I said, you know what the heck? I'm going to go for it just to do it. It's something that was in the back of my mind for a long time. Like, ever since I stopped competing in bodybuilding back in 2011, I always in the back of my mind said, I'd like to make a comeback in the Masters over 40. And I'm at the stage now where I'm lean enough. I said, you know what? Let's do it. It's not going to be some big grueling contest diet because I've already got myself lean over the last couple of years and stayed lean. And I fully intend on doing that afterwards as well. So I'm going to go through this contest prep. Yeah, I'm just buckling things down a little bit extra strict, like no cheat meals or anything like that for a month, and just being extra strict with everything. Let's scale back the calories even more. But afterwards, then I'm just going to go back to my normal clean eating diet and try and maintain that lean physique as a lifestyle. Because I tell you, when you're lean without depriving yourself, it feels so darn good just to eat till you're comfortably satisfied at each meal and to maintain a lean, healthy physique, to feel that energy without the hunger, without the deprivation, and to be comfortable enough that, okay, you can take your shirt off if you're on a holiday, or you can take your shirt off if you're at the pool, or not be embarrassed about how you look. I mean, that is huge, because I know there's a lot of people out there who are pretty darn embarrassed about how they look, and they're trying to cover it up the best they can. I've talked to a lot of people who've come on board, hired me as for coaching advice to help them with their fat loss and fitness goals. And like a lot of these people, it's affecting their life. It really is. Their weight is to the point now where not only it's the health concerns, but it's the confidence concerns. Like, they're so self-conscious of how fat and how overweight they've let themselves go. Like, they don't want to post pictures. Like, they refuse to go on social media because they're so embarrassed about how they look in pictures. So they, close down their social media accounts. They don't want to go to family functions because of how overweight they've gotten. They're afraid to travel, not because of viruses, but because they don't fit into an airplane seat anymore. Like, things like that. They don't have the work capacity or the stamina to go and do things. Like, I've known, there was one gentleman I was talking to. He wanted to go to a special event that was coming to his town. And he said, I would love to go to this event. It was, a hobby of his, and there was a special event coming into town, and he was really passionate about it. But he says, I'm not going to go because I know I don't have the capacity to go there and walk around. Like, this is someone who's obese, overweight. And he's like, I would love to go, but I just physically can't because I don't have the stamina to even just walk around at this event. And I'm like, man, like, that is hindering lifestyle. So, I mean, like, that's what I'm really trying to preach, is just, you can make this work. It's not going to be some quick fix solution, but you can make it work. If you start taking action now, you can look after your health and fitness and move yourself in the right direction towards reaching your fitness and fat loss goals over a period of time, just like I've done it. I mean, over a period of time. It's not like, oh, I'm going to crash diet and get ripped in a month. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. If you have to make it a lifestyle and think, I'm going to get ripped over the next year or 2 years or however long it takes. I mean, if you got 50 pounds to lose, be prepared to give yourself a year to lose that much weight. If you got more than that, then, more than that, more like, look at it, a pound a week. That's a realistic and healthy goal for someone who's overweight and out of shape and just trying to get started again. A pound a week is a very realistic goal. So if you got 50 pounds to lose, give yourself a year. You got 100 pounds to lose, give yourself 2 years. And I know a lot of people look at it, oh my God, it's going to take a year or 2 years. I can't wait that long. The time's going to go by anyway. And if you don't take action, then a year or two down the road, you're going to be even fatter and unhealthier and more unhappy than you are right now. So that's why I'm such an advocate of, like, just get started. And if you need some help, hey, I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you, kind of give you some strategies and action steps to get moving in the right direction. So If anybody listening to this right now can relate to what I'm saying here, send me an email if you'd like to chat. Again, my email address, leeh@leehayward.com. Just send me an email, and I'd be more than happy to have a chat with you. Because, I mean, this is something that I'm passionate about helping people with. So, I mean, if this is something you need some help with, reach out. All right. So anyway, that's kind of a big old spiel there about fat loss and me getting ready and doing a bodybuilding show again and all that good of stuff. So let's get into answering some questions here. With regards to the whole bodybuilding and stuff, like I'll be sharing my progress throughout the whole journey. I mean, again, keep my fingers crossed that the show is actually going to go ahead because of the whole virus thing. But if it does, I'll be sharing my progress and stuff and just sharing how things are going. I've already started, taking progress pictures and stuff, and I definitely want to be putting together some videos, outlining what's different now, like how bodybuilding for me is different in my 40s compared to when it was, in my 30s, and compared to my 20s and compared to my teens, because I've been doing this ever since I was a teenager. All right, what else we got? Maddie Mustang. Lee, how you doing? And he's talking about good luck on your way to the Masters Classic Physique. Thank you much, Mr. Maddie Mustang. David's joining in. We have Oki joining in. What's your opinion on intermittent fasting? I have mixed opinions on intermittent fasting, but it's just another way of controlling your calories. That's really what it is. And there's pros and cons to it. And it works for a fat loss program, but it's not always right for everybody. I kind of use a modified version of intermittent fasting myself. I usually like to fast for about 12 hours out of 24. That's usually what I do. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's less, but on average, usually 12 hours out of 24, I will not eat. And then in those 12 hours that I do eat, I will probably have on average 3 to 4 meals spaced out over those 12 hours. And that works well for me. It works well with my schedule. It works well with my natural appetite. And it allows me to help keep my calories under control. I find that if I try and eat every 2 to 3 hours, like the old school bodybuilding mentality, as soon as you wake up, you got to eat every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day, right until you go to bed, then I'm eating too darn much. Now, it's great if you're trying to bulk up and get more calories in. I mean, eating more frequently is great in that situation. But if your goal is to try and keep the calories down so that you're keeping the weight in check and not getting fat, then I find eating too many meals is a big reason why people just eat too much. So intermittent fasting is just a strategy that you can incorporate to reduce the number of meals you eat per day. So I do a modified version of it. Like 12-hour fast is pretty common for me. And I prefer to actually work out in a fasted state. I like to work out in the morning fasted. That's when I feel good. I mean, because obviously in the morning, I'm well rested from a night's sleep. I don't have any food in my system that's kind of weighing me down. So I actually get a really good workout first thing in the morning in a fasted state. So, I mean, because my body's not using energy to digest food. I'm well rested from the night before. I just feel light, energetic. I don't feel sluggish or heavy or anything like that. So I actually enjoy working out fasted. Now, I know some people say they can't work out fasted. They got to have food in their system. Well, if that's the case, then fine. Have some food in your system and then go work out. Like, do what works the best for you. I mean, it's not a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter approach. Like, that's one of the drawbacks when you're listening to people online and you're following fitness influencers on social media. Like, you have people say, well, this is the way to do it because I do it this way, so everybody should do it that way. And like, no, it doesn't work that way. Like, if you're a 20-something-year-old guy who's trying to bulk up versus a 50-year-old guy who's trying to trim down, like, do you think they're going to follow the same diet, the same workout, the same everything? No, it's two totally different scenarios. I mean, like someone who's trying to bulk up and gain weight versus someone who's trying to trim down and lose weight, two totally different scenarios. Someone in their 20s versus someone in their 50s, like they've got two different metabolisms. They're not going to be able to eat the same. Yeah, and like workouts, they got different work capacities. Like someone in their 20s who's lean and trim and fit and active, they're going to have a higher level of recovery, a higher level of work capacity versus someone in their 50s who's overweight and out of shape and is just trying to get back into the gym again. So you can't take these cookie cutter approaches and say, oh, well, Joe Blow fitness influencer on internet says do this and think that that's what you need to do. You need to kind of tailor it to you, your situation, your goals, your lifestyle, your body type, all that kind of stuff. And that's where it can get confusing, because the information out there, it's not necessarily good or bad. I mean, well, some of it is. Don't get me wrong. Some of it can be bad information. But a lot of the times it can actually be good information, especially when you see like an established, reputable, say like YouTube channel or someone who's a fitness influencer, and like they know what they're doing. Like they can get themselves in shape, and they probably have helped other people get in shape as well. But they're probably dealing with a certain demographic. Like you see a lot of these YouTube channels that are exploding up. I mean, young guys in their 20s, and they're helping other young guys in their 20s. And that's great. But it doesn't mean that someone in their 50s is going to be able to take that same program and follow it and get the same results. Like they probably need to take something and adjust it to their fitness level and their schedule and their recovery abilities. And of course, their metabolism, all that. So I try and gear most of my stuff now to people 40 and above, because that's where I'm at. That's my demographic. That's where I can relate. I can relate most to those challenges that people in their 40s and beyond are dealing with. That's now, when I was younger, it was the other way. I mean, I was the young guy helping other young guys bulk up. I mean, so if you follow my journey from the late 90s onwards, because I've been online literally since 1997, like it's my website and the stuff that I teach and promote and everything else, it's all been related to my own journey, right? So, I mean, as I've progressed, so has the way that I teach and help and inspire people has progressed as well. So I'm more geared towards people who are over 40, looking to lose the gut, build muscle, and just improve their overall health and fitness. So intermittent fasting is a tool that you can actually use to help you with that, but it's not some magic formula. Like ultimately, when it comes to fat loss, it's calories in versus calories out. I mean, whether you're eating 1 meal a day or 6 meals a day, as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you can still burn body fat, right? It's ultimately that. And vice versa. Like you can have an intermittent fasting protocol, and if you eat too darn much in your feeding window, then you can cancel out any fat burning. Like prime example of this, a traditional Japanese sumo wrestler, they follow intermittent fasting. They follow OMAD, 1 meal a day. They'll go all day without eating anything. They'll do their training in a fasted state. But then once they start eating, they just eat massive, massive amounts of food. And sometimes like literally 10,000 calories in a single sitting, which is like just mind-blowing crazy. But look at them. I mean, some of them are 500 pounds, right? So, I mean, like, obviously, they're intermittent fasting, but it's not helping them lose weight in that situation. So it can help in some cases, but it's not some guaranteed surefire thing. Like, hey, if I intermittent fast, I'm going to get shredded. Or if I only eat 1 meal a day, I'm guaranteed to get shredded. No, if you eat too much, you eat too much, regardless if it's 1 meal or 6 meals. It doesn't matter. All right, it's still calories in versus calories out at the end of the day. All right, what else we got? Pogie Boots says, Lee, I enjoy your weekend. Hope you had a good trip down south. Thank you much. Do appreciate it. We have David joining us. He says, I look like a young Jean-Claude Van Damme with the weight loss. Okay, thank you, I guess. I was always a fan of Van Damme back in the Van Damme days, the kickboxer and the blood sport and all those, everybody, who grew up with those movies. I mean, man, that was as cool could get. Yeah, but yeah, I was a big fan of Van Damme back in the day. We have Lee tuning in, Lee Dunnigan. Anna's joining us. Ty Guy says, hi there. I've got a question. I'm trying to lose weight, but I don't know how to continue further with my weight loss. I'm started at 110 kilos. Now I'm at 93.5 kilos, but I can't seem to lose weight. I watch my calories and I exercise good. All right. You've hit a plateau. That's kind of inevitable. Anybody who follows a fat loss program for any length of time, you're eventually going to hit a plateau. It's not going to be like consistently dropping, weight week after week after week. Like if you were to chart it on a graph, like it's going to be fluctuations, but it's going to be spikes and dips. But over the long term, we want to see it go down, but it's going to be zigzaggy all the way down. Like nobody just continually drops in a linear fashion. Like there's going to be spikes up and down along the way. So you're in a bit of a stall right there. And honestly, I mean, I could definitely, offer some suggestions, but I'd need to know more about what it is you're doing. Just saying I eat good and I exercise, well, that's pretty vague, right? Like, what's good? What's exercise? So we really need to dive in deeper into that situation. So, I mean, if you would like to actually chat about it, have a strategy session where we can actually talk about your situation, talk about your eating, talk about your exercise, and see where you can improve what you're currently doing, send me an email, leehayward.com. I know I mention this all the time. If you want help, reach out to me. And if you don't want help, then figure it out on your own. Here we go. Let's see what else we got. Lee, I work at Costco and we had 850 members in the warehouse at the first 30-minute door count. That is insane. Today, before I got on this video chat, we normally do a weekly Costco run. And I said, you know what? Hey, it's a nice day. Let's take a run into Costco, right? And we were driving up the road, and then all of a sudden there's just a line of traffic. Not even at the Costco. This is a line of traffic on a road that turns down another road to get to Costco. It's just just a line of traffic. And I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I pulled out in the other lane, went on by it, and then you could actually drive by and look down at the warehouse, and the parking lot was just packed. And there was maybe, oh my God, 50 to 100 cars just lined up just on the road waiting to turn into the parking lot. It was just backed up. And I'm like, man, there's no way I'm going to go into Costco today. It's I'd be in there still. So I said, screw it. And we just went to the grocery store and ended up getting our stuff that we needed. I mean, yeah, okay, you pay a bit more at the grocery store, but I was paying for convenience. I was paying for not waiting in the line for hours, right? So, I mean, heck, but it was insane. So I can only imagine what it's like in, it's nuts. Yeah, but I love Costco. I mean, I get most of my stuff there at Costco under normal circumstances. Right. And we've got a brand new Costco, here in Newfoundland. It's crazy because Newfoundland is one of the smallest provinces in Canada, but it has the biggest Costco in Canada right now. Anyway, I mean, there'll probably be a bigger one if there's a new one opens up, but it's one of the most recent ones. It's because everybody shops at Costco around here. Every guy and their dog has a Costco membership. It's just crazy. So, I mean, it was just nuts there today. Let's see what else we've got. Steve is saying, looking awesome. Good luck in the Masters competition. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. We have another Steve tuning in. He says from Alberta. He says, I got any toilet paper? I've actually got some toilet paper on hand. And if I'm stuck, then I'll use this kind of paper or baby wipes or whatever. I'll tear sheets of paper out of my notepad if I have to. I'll go out and see if I can get some leaves off the trees. Well, actually, there are no leaves off the trees. It's wintertime, so I don't know what I'll do. But I'll make do. Guarantee you that. But, yeah, it's ironic. We were at the grocery store, and they even had a sign, right, as the entrance you're going in. Sorry, we are temporarily sold out of toilet paper. Where did that come from? Isn't that putting the cart before the bull? You know what I mean? It's a... Because if you got nothing to eat, you got nothing to come out. So you worry about food first before you worry about the toilet paper. Anyway, let's see what else we got. Pogie Boots is saying, I got a mental game question for you. How do you get your butt in the gym when you're having really low energy and a down day? Habits. This is what I do personally. This is what I do. Because, I mean, not every day you're going to be motivated to go to the gym. And if you only go when you're motivated, then your workouts are going to be very sporadic. I don't care who you are, how advanced you are. Everybody goes through ups and downs of motivation. Mr. Olympia has days where he does not want to go work out, right? Everybody has days where they just feel I don't want to go today. I'm tired. Just look at going to work, your job. Do you wake up every morning and say, man, I can't wait to go to work today. I can't wait to go in there and do whatever it is you do. And Monday morning rolls around. You jump up out of bed and say, yes, I can't wait to go to work today. Woohoo! Right? No, the chances are there's some days you're man, I really don't want to go, but you go anyway. The same has to apply with the gym. Like there's going to be certain days you don't want to go, but you go anyway. And a little mental game that I do is on those days when I just feel like I don't have it in me, then I mentally downscale the workout. So instead of having this big, grand, hard workout, I say, you know what? I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to do a bit of easy cardio, maybe 20 minutes on the treadmill or something like that. Just walk on the treadmill. And then I'm just going to do a little circuit routine on the machines and leave. I'm just going to go in there and do a little easy workout, because a little easy workout is better than no workout at all. And sometimes that's what I do. I'll go in and just go for a walk on the treadmill, do a little circuit on the machines and leave. But a lot of times, just getting my butt into the gym and then going through, changing into my gym clothes and then doing that bit of cardio. And okay, now I get the blood flow and get the, you see other people working out and you start to just feel the gym vibes again. That is enough to get me back into workout mode. And very often, even though I'm mentally prepared to go in and do an easy workout, I sometimes go in there and then have like a kick-ass workout because I just got myself there. Like the hardest part of going to the gym is just showing up. Walking through the door of the gym is like the hardest part. So on those days when you're really low motivation, low energy, just commit to showing up. Like who cares what you do when you get there? Just show up. Even if you just show up, walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes and then walk back out the door. Like that's better than not showing up at all. But just commit, make it a habit that you're going to show up. Like if you can, like schedule it in your calendar whenever it's convenient for you, whether you work out morning, noon, or night or whatever, like schedule it in and try and keep that appointment just the same as you keep any important appointment. Like, you've got a schedule where you have to show up at your job. Like, let's just say you show up 9 o'clock every morning. Well, boom, that's in your calendar. You're going to do that. You're going to show up 9 o'clock every morning, whether you feel like it or not. You want to kind of do the same with your workouts. Schedule it in and show up whether you feel like it or not. And again, you can use that little mental trick. Whereas on those days where you're like, man, I just don't have it in me. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't want to be here. Then just do a little easy workout. Just a little easy. I'm just going to go for a low intensity cardio and then leave. And some days you might just do that. Literally, you may do that. And that's fine. But again, it's a victory just to show up, just to there. As long as you do some form of exercise, even if it's, a walk on the treadmill, it's better than nothing. And you're building your mental toughness. You're building the habit. And that's the hardest part. Like when it comes to fitness and nutrition and like building muscle, losing fat, like everybody thinks, well, what's the best calories? What's the best workout? What's the best split? What's the best supplements? It's none of that. It's how to deal with the crap that goes on in here. You have to build the habits. And like, if you can't get yourself to show up to the gym, then it doesn't matter what workout split you have, because it's useless. You're not at the gym, right? So you have to commit to going. You have to make that a process. Like if you don't show up, that's step one, show up. If you can't master the show up part, then who cares what exercises or workout split or what's the best planned program you have on paper? It's all useless until you actually show up at the gym. So let's start with the basics. Let's make it let's be consistent with showing up. Show up on a regular basis. That's the first step. I mean, once you master that, and the thing is, the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. And don't think about it too much. Like, especially once you have it in your calendar, like don't think about it, just do it. And I'll give you some strategies that you can use. Like if you work out after work, for example, don't come home from work, sit down on the couch, watch a show on Netflix, and then say, oh, if I feel motivated, I'll go to the gym. No, have your gym bag packed in advance. And then as soon as you leave work, stop into the gym, get your workout done, and then you can go home and sit on the couch and watch a Netflix show or whatever it is that you do. Like have set little triggers in place. Like having the gym bag packed and ready to go in advance is a huge one. Keeping it with you at all times so you can just minimize the friction of getting your butt to the gym. That's huge. And like I know some of my coaching students, like they work out on their lunch break. So when they go to work in the morning, they have their gym bag packed, ready to go. So then as soon as lunch break comes, boom, they grab their stuff, they go to the gym, they work out for an hour, and then back to work again. Like minimize the friction and try and piggyback it off things that you're already doing. Like if you're already going to work and you already have a lunch break every day, well, let's use that lunch break instead of sitting around the cafeteria shooting shit with your buddies. Use that to go to the gym. Vice versa, you're going to work every day and you come home every day. Well, let's stack some habits on top of each other, right? Let's go to the gym on your way home from work every day. Boom, stack that habit in there and make it work. Or if you want to do it in the morning, get up extra early and go to the gym before you go to work in the morning. Like there's ways to make it work, but you just have to make that schedule and stick to it. And just the more you do it, the easier it is, honestly. But it's the hardest part is just getting that ball rolling, getting that initial momentum, getting that start. But the more you do it, the less you're going to start screwing around and just, oh, I'm not motivated today, blah, blah, blah. It's just like going to work. Like if you only went to work when you were motivated, I mean, how often would you go? Or if you only went to school when you were motivated, how often would you go? Right? You do it because you got to do it. And that's the same with your workouts. You do it because you got to do it. All right, where else are we to? We have Fitz joining in. Is it okay to sleep 3 to 4 hours a night and then sleep 3 to 4 hours a day? Sleeping twice in a 24-hour period. My work schedule makes it where I work in the AM and the PM Monday to Friday. You know what? It's probably not ideal, but if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. Like I know some people who have weird jobs, weird schedules and stuff like that, and they have to do stuff like that. Like I've got some friends of mine who work offshore on boats. Like some of them work offshore, like in the oil industry. Some of them work like on the Great Lakes in the shipping industry, but they're working on boats and they're on the boat for 24 hours, you know, when they're on their shift. And when they're on the boat, usually I think it was a 6 hours on, 6 hours off, 6 hours on, 6 hours off, just around the clock, 6 hours on and off. So when they're working, obviously they have 6 hours of work. And then when they're off, they have to eat and sleep within that 6 hour window and then prepare for their next 6 hour shift. So, I mean, they're not getting their, 8 hours of sleep in a 6 hour window, right? It ain't happening. So they're doing something kind of similar to what you're doing. Like they're probably having little mini sleeps a couple times a day. You can make it work, right? You can make it work. I mean, is it ideal? Is it optimal? I don't know. I've never personally tried it, but bottom line, do the best you can with the situation you have, right? Like instead of always thinking, is it right or wrong, good or bad? Think of like good, better, best. Like if you can get 3 to 4 hours of good sleep twice a day, well, that's better than no good sleep at all. So again, I don't have a magic answer for you, but ultimately, if this is your situation, this is your schedule, this is your career, and then you have to just make the best of what you have. All right, Manuel is joining in. He says, I've been following the recommendations of the Lose Your Gut Challenge and the workouts of the Inner Circle all ready for my trip to Cancun. Hopefully I can come back next week to New York regular. All right, good for you, Manuel. Glad to hear it, right? He went through our Lose Your Gut Challenge that we had. We've actually ran a couple of these challenges already, and probably next month, I'll be doing another one. Like I won't be doing a Lose Your Gut Challenge while I'm in the process of getting ready for, the bodybuilding show, because it's just too much on my schedule. Like when I run those Lose Your Gut challenges, it's an intensive Lose Your Gut challenge. Like it's 5 days of intensive group coaching. And it takes up a lot of my time mentally, physically. Like it takes a lot of time and energy to do that. But the feedback and the results that people get from that, like it can be life changing for people who actually embrace it and follow it, just like Manuel has. I mean, it's the idea. It's a 5-day intensive Lose Your Gut challenge. Now I know a lot of people hear that, oh, you can't lose your gut in 5 days, blah blah blah. No, I'm not making the claim that you're going to like have this magical 5-day transformation. But you can install the habits, the mindset, and get the strategies and the know-how to make those changes in 5 days. So I'm going to basically, it's like a 5-day intensive online workshop where there's accountability tasks, there's action steps, there's live teaching, there's live coaching every single day for 5 days. And we're basically just going to reprogram your brain over the course of 5 days so that you can take what you learn and then go ahead and apply it in the real world and get the results you want. And again, I'm glad to hear that you've actually, followed through with it, because quite honestly, most people don't. Most people go through the 5-day challenge and say, oh, I love this. This is great. And then, a couple weeks later, what do you know? They're back to their old habits again. They're back to eating like crap. They're back to skipping workouts and sitting on the sofa and, scrolling through their phones and watching Netflix and like, oh, I'm not motivated to go to the gym today and blah, 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 and whatever. Right. But for those of you who actually do make it, the those habit changes and make it work, then yeah, you can get some amazing results. And so I'm super happy to hear that. What else we got? Lee Dunnigan saying, what's your opinion on kefir drinks and yogurt? I'm trying to up my probiotic intake for gut health. I've used them occasionally. Like I do like yogurt. I like fat-free plain Greek yogurt, and I use it as a source of protein because I enjoy it. I use it in recipes. Like Greek yogurt is what I use as an alternative to salad dressing. So I'll put that on my salads, mix it up. So I like it. I mean, it's a very convenient source of protein. So I'm a big fan of Greek yogurt. Not so much the kefir drinks. Like I have had them occasionally, but I'm more of a yogurt fan because of more protein. But as far as the probiotics and that, I mean, I definitely think they can be helpful. I mean, I think the biggest thing you want to look at when it comes to this stuff is look at the bigger picture. Like you want to be consuming natural, unprocessed foods the majority of the time. And as long as you're doing that, then you're going to be fueling up your body with the vitamins and the minerals and the enzymes and the probiotics and all that nutritional value that it needs without any of the crap that it doesn't. And that's what you ultimately want to focus on. So, I mean, those, you know, the kefir drinks and the yogurt, I mean, that's definitely going to help. But think of the bigger picture. Like you can't eat like shit and then think, well, I'm going to drink a kefir drink and cancel it all out. No, like you have to eat clean, right? It's like some people say, well, I'm going to eat like crap, but I'll pop a multivitamin and that's going to fix my diet. No, it's not going to fix your diet. Like you have to have the foundation laid first. And if you take multivitamins or whatever afterwards, it's like an extra insurance policy, but it's not going to cancel out bad habits. Same with, you know, kefir drinks and yogurt and everything else. Like if you've got gut issues, and most people who have gut issues, it's usually due to poor diet and poor lifestyle choices. Now, I know there's some people with genetic issues and stuff like that, but at some level, most people cause it themselves, because I'm just thinking of everybody I know who have gut issues and irritable bowel syndromes and all that kind of stuff. When I look at what they eat, like they're always complaining about, you know, oh, poor me. And it is a bad illness, right? Don't get me wrong. I know people personally who've struggled massively with these things. But then when we actually look, okay, well, what are you eating? You know, what's your lifestyle habits like? And it's usually partially self-inflicted because they're very often eating like crap, right? You know, there's a lot of processed junk in there, a lot of alcohol sometimes, and just a lot of poor lifestyle choices in general. So it's not all genetic, all right? It's not all poor me. Like there's always something at some level we can do to better or worse the situation, and you want to definitely take action to improve it the best you can. So those two things can definitely help, but you need the bigger picture of your whole diet, lifestyle, exercise, healthy habits in general, right? It's more than just that. Abrams joining in. He says, I'm thinking about starting testosterone with the actual needle. Kind of bro does what? I'm thinking about starting testosterone with an actual needle. Kind my bro does. He's getting big. What's your thoughts? Go talk to your doctor if you need, or a hormone replacement specialist. Don't do it on your own. That's my advice. Because first off, if you do it on your own, then you're resorting to black market stuff and you don't know what the heck you're sticking in that actual needle and shoving it up your ass. Go talk to your doctor or a hormone replacement specialist or whatever. Like I don't know where you live, but like this is a common thing nowadays. It's becoming more and more common. Like doctors are prescribing testosterone replacement therapy or hormone replacement therapy to people who have low testosterone and low hormone levels. There's all kinds of hormone replacement clinics. Like go talk to someone, get your blood work done, and if needed, you know, then you can discuss your options with a doctor. Like don't do it on your own. Like seriously, it's not worth it. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. And I mean, who knows? Like just anyway, talk to your doctor. That's all. Steve's joining in. What else we got? Okay, says I watched your last video on late night cravings, the protein ice cream. I can't get pasteurized egg whites in the UK. We never found them. What can I replace it with? You can use Greek yogurt instead. If you want, you could even just use water and a scoop of protein powder as the base, and then just put in frozen berries until it thickens up. Like literally, if you can't get egg whites, I like the pasteurized egg whites because it's just another source of protein, but you could literally just put in the same volume of Greek yogurt. If you have those kefir drinks, you could put in like a cup of kefir as well. You could even put in a cup of milk. Obviously, it would change the macros a bit. You could even put in a cup of water as the base, but you just want some sort of liquid something or another, whether it's egg whites or yogurt or water or something, and then put in a scoop of protein powder, blend that up to get the consistency, and then just keep adding in frozen berries until you get that nice thick ice creamy consistency. But yeah, I've made the shake before with just water and protein powder before. Like sometimes if I run out of egg whites, I'll just use that, and it still works. It's still the main thing is you need the protein powder and you need the berries. That's what's going to give it the ice creamy taste, because the protein powder is going to have the flavor of the protein powder, whether it's vanilla or it's chocolate or whatever. So that's going to give it the flavor. And then, of course, the berries are going to give it the thickness and the texture. Plus, they also have their own natural taste and sweetness as well, which makes a nice combination. But yeah, you can use pretty much anything as the base of that. It doesn't necessarily have to be the pasteurized liquid egg whites. All right, just throw in something in there. And if you haven't seen that video, it's one of the most recent videos on the channel. If not, it probably is the most recent video besides this one that I'm doing right now live. All right, we have Cross joining us. He says, Lee, I feel I'm weak for my size. I'm 31 years old. I'm 5'7". I'm 150 pounds. I have 12% body fat. I recently 1 rep maxed my squat plus deadlift 270 and 305. Any advice to get past these strength plateaus? Been stuck here 4 months. Well, first off, that's not weak for your size. If you look at the average person, like I'm not talking about, people on the internet posting YouTube videos and all that kind of stuff, but I'm talking about like the average person in the real world cannot squat and deadlift more than their body weight, or in your case, double their body weight. Like a double body weight deadlift, that's freaking impressive. Like there's not a lot of people can double body weight deadlift. Seriously, there's not. So I know you're thinking, oh, I'm weak and everything else, but in the greater scheme of things, no, that's pretty darn good. I mean, that's very impressive compared to the average person. So I mean, don't beat yourself up thinking that you're weak or whatever. I mean, celebrate what you've done. That's a huge accomplishment right there. Now, does it mean that there's no room for improvement? Heck no, there's always room for improvement. And again, if this is something like, I really can't offer you any advice because I don't know what you're doing. So I can't tell you what you're doing wrong or where you can improve without knowing what you're doing, right? Like saying I'm squatting and I'm deadlifting and I'm stuck in a plateau. What do I do? I don't know. Like what are you doing right now? Like how many days a week are you doing? What's your diet like? What's your lifestyle habits like? What other assistant exercises are you doing to help improve the squat and the deadlift? Like there's so much more to the conversation than just, I'm stuck in a plateau. What do I do? So if you would like some help, you can send me an email. All right. I mean, I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with you, and we can see if we can, let me know what you're doing, what's working, what's not working, and see if we can come up with some strategies to help get you moving forward again. Again, for those of you who are watching, my email, leeh@leehayward.com. And that is actually my email. That doesn't go to some virtual assistant. It doesn't go to some autoresponder or whatever. It actually goes to me. I actually answer my own email. Now, granted, it might take me a day or two to get back to you, right? Depending on how many email I get and how busy I am, but I will actually respond. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh shit, I lost my spice there. Sometimes my mouse jumps when I'm scrolling through. What's your favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movie of all time? Probably Bloodsport or Kickboxer. It's kind of a toss-up between those two. Maybe Kickboxer. I don't know. But it's a toss-up of those two. Hey, coach, my life is being ruined. Well, that's from PS Sports Gamer. I've had a shoulder injury for 10 months. No structural damage in X-ray or MRI. Please help me. I used to be big and now I'm small. Please help me. All right, so you had a shoulder injury. No structural damage. Well, that's good. Tell you what, I've got several videos that cover some shoulder exercises, rotator cuff things, and you can use these for rehab. Do a search, a YouTube search, Lee Hayward rotator cuff or Lee Hayward shoulder workouts, and you'll see all the videos that I have related to shoulder, rotator. Now, some of them are actual workouts, like strength building workouts, but the ones with the rotator cuff in the keyword, like if you type in Lee Hayward rotator cuff, those are more rehab and mobility exercise related workouts that are going to help to build up the strength and stability in your shoulder so that you can actually get into doing proper workouts again. But go check those videos out. That will definitely help move you in the right direction. Hybrid is saying, if the gyms close, how could I maintain volume without 75 to 85% intensity of 1 rep max? Like, if the gym closes, whatever program you have, like, oh, I'm doing this much intensity, this many reps, this many sets, and this blah, 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 all that goes out the window. Like, what you're going to be doing is you're just going to exercise, as in just move your body and exercise. Like, you're not going to have some pre-planned program cycle, like, you know, periodization squat workout or periodization bench press workout or any of that stuff. Like, all that stuff goes out the window unless you have a home gym with, you know, the proper weights and setups and everything else that you can actually follow it with. Like, if you can't exercise with exercise equipment, then you're going to rely on like body weight exercises and just doing cardio and just keeping yourself active. And guess what? That is still good. Like, just moving your body is actual good exercise. It doesn't have to be always this planned out percentage of your 1 rep max set rep scheme, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I mean, obviously, if you're like an elite level powerlifter or competitive powerlifter and you're trying to train for competition or something, yeah, of course, you want to have some structure to your program. But the average person who just wants to lose weight and get in shape and look and feel better, you don't have to be precise. Like, just get off your ass and move is like, that works. In fact, I have a friend of mine. He is a very popular fitness coach. And again, he's not an elite level athlete or anything like that, but he's in good shape and he trains a lot of people. And I mean, he's helped a lot of people to improve their life. And his rule of thumb is every day he must sweat. That's it. Every day he must sweat. That's his workout, whether it's going to the gym and doing weight training, whether that's getting outside for cardio, whether that's playing sports, whether that's going to the pool for a swim. Every day he has to get off his ass and move. Like, if he can do that, he can check it off. I exercise today. Boom. And for health, fitness, you know, the longevity, all that good stuff, you know, fat loss, that works. That combined with a good diet and good lifestyle choices and all that stuff, like, literally, it can be as simple as that. It doesn't always have to be these planned out, oh, well, I'm going to do, you know, 75% of my 1 rep max, and I'm going to do, you know, pyramid the weight up, and then I'm going to do this many sets, and then I'm going to have a deload week, and then I'm going to cycle this, and I'm going to, like, if you can't go to the gym and you can't work out, like, you can't do none of that. You just exercise, and like, that will still work. That will still keep you in pretty darn good shape. All right, let's see what else we got. Alberto is joining. He says, Lee, best tips to put on muscle and maintain it. I'm 28, 5'7", 165. I'm 14% body fat. I value your content, and I've been following you for some time. Thank you for all the information and knowledge you share. Best tips to put on muscle and maintain it. Go to the gym, eat right, exercise. Like, those are some good solid tips to start. Master the basics. I'm telling you right now, like, master the basics. If you want like a step-by-step guide for like how to build muscle and fill out your frame with muscular body weight, I've got a program, and it's called Old School Bulking. Old School Bulking 101, I believe it is. Let me just find it there. Sugar. I'm doing a search for the title, and I'm going to type it into our chat window there for it. I want to get the right link for it. Okay, here it is. So it's Old School. Let's see. Yep. Okay. Let's go back here. All right. So I'm going to type in a link in our chat window, like right now. There we go. That's the free PDF report, and it covers some great strategies that you can start using, like to help fill out your frame with solid muscular body weight. And this is stuff that I use, especially in my early days when that was my primary goal. Like as I've changed, as I've gotten older, like my primary goal now is to try to fight the battle of the bulge, because like when you're young and you've got a racing fast metabolism, like you're trying to struggle and to try and put on weight. And then as you get older and you don't have a racing fast metabolism, you're struggling to take off weight. So the approach changes. So if your goal is to actually gain weight and fill out your frame, then that link that I just posted, or the Old School Bulking 101 program, is definitely one that you can check out. And even if you just Google search Lee Hayward, Old School Bulking 101, you'll probably find it. But I posted the link there in our chat window. All right, where was I to? Now I lost my place where I scroll down to type that into the chat. Okay. Bill is joining in. He says, Lee, I am an older lifter, over 50. I have a healthy dinner, about 6. I have some digestive problems, but can't stand not having a snack. Sometimes I think his question got cut off. I'm just going to see if he typed it in anywhere else. I'm going to assume he means after dinner. So yeah. I'm going to fill in the blanks here, Bill, because I've gotten this similar questions before, even though I think yours got cut off. So he says he has a healthy dinner around 6, and he wants to have but he says he has a snack sometimes after dinner. And you know what? That's fine. Like there's no rule saying that you have to stop eating at 6. Like I know, like there's a myth out there where people say, "Oh, don't eat after 6 p.m." Why? Like seriously, it's not like your body stops at 6 p.m. Like it's calorie burning's shut down. Like it's not like a day's work. Like, okay, guys, we're closing up office at 6 p.m. Right? Everything shuts down. No, your body runs 24/7. Your body is burning calories 24/7. It's always in a state of protein turnover. The metabolism never stops. Your heart beats 24/7. Like your body works 24/7. So it's having these stupid rules saying you can't eat after 6 p.m. or you can't eat after whatever, it doesn't make any sense. Like if you want to eat later in the evening or whatever, do it. Like me personally, I have a snack before I go to bed every night. I don't like to go to bed on an empty stomach. I always have something to eat. As the last thing that I do before I go to bed, I will have something to eat. Again, it's usually some sort of protein-based meal. I mean, it's always something healthy. I mean, it's usually it could be like some of those late night craving recipe videos that I shared in that video that I posted recently. I mean, I posted my top 5 favorite late night craving recipes. It could be one of those. But bottom line, I eat before bed every single night. So if I go to bed at 11 o'clock, I'm eating right before 11 o'clock. Like literally, I do not like to go to bed on an empty stomach. I find that I do not sleep well if like halfway through the night I wake up, my belly is growling and I'm hungry. Like I sleep better when I have food in my stomach. It just makes me, when I have food in there, I feel happy, right? And I sleep better. So I always eat before bed, and I don't care what time it is. Like the time on the clock does not dictate whether you burn fat or not. Like seriously, it doesn't. Like it's the overall average. As long as you average a calorie deficit over the long term, you will burn body fat, regardless if you eat those calories at midnight, 6 o'clock, 12 noon, 9 o'clock in the morning, spaced out throughout the day, 1 meal a day, 3 meals a day. It doesn't matter. It's calories in versus calories out over the long term, right? And that's what matters the most. It's not the time of day. That has zero implications on whether or not you're going to, gain fat or whatever, or lose fat. It's the amount you eat. It's not when you eat, it's how much you eat and what you eat. All right, let's see. I gotta have a sip of coffee here. Azim is joining in. He says, Lee, how is it possible that little things like cookies, biscuits, chocolate bars, cheese slices, etc. have so many calories even though they are so small in size and volume? Because they are packed with sugar and fat. 2 very calorie dense foods, if you even want to call them foods. It's just so jam-packed. Like cheese. Cheese is primarily fat. Fat has 9 calories per gram. Protein and carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram. So anything that has a lot of fat, a lot of oil, a lot of butter, like all those things you mentioned. Cookies. All right, you're looking at a cookie. It's made with butter, or it's made with oil, or something or other. Biscuits, same thing. It's made with butter or oil or something, but there's a lot of fat. Fat packs a lot of calories, a whopping amount of calories. Same with chocolate. Like chocolate, loaded with fat, loaded with sugar. And you can jam it in there. And these are processed foods. So there's very little fiber. There's next to no water volume. It's just pure concentrated calories. That's what you're getting. Compare that to real, natural, unprocessed food. Like I'll give you a polar opposite example. Like you could take a chocolate bar, or okay, let's take a slice of cheese. Like cheese, just dense, fat, moisture pressed out of it, and it's just this concentrated chunk of milk, fat, and protein. I mean, there is some protein in cheese, so it's not all bad, but still, it's just this concentrated chunk of dehydrated food. Compare that to a watermelon. Watermelon is this big, massive volume of food, so much water volume, so much fiber volume. Like you can eat so much more watermelon for the same amount of calories as a little chunk of cheese, right? And this is my strategy for staying full while not feeling like I'm on a diet, is I choose high volume, low calorie dense foods. So fruits and vegetables, right? They're the big ones, fruits and veggies, because they are high in water volume. They're high in fiber. They're low in calorie density. You get to eat a lot of, a lot of chewing, a lot of, food in your belly to give you that sensation of fullness versus these small little calorie dense foods. Like you eat a cookie, like it doesn't fill you up, right? You eat a cookie and it just, the sweetness and the fattiness and everything else, it just makes you want to eat another cookie. But like you eat a banana and okay, like that kind of fills you up. Like you could probably sit down and eat like half a dozen cookies. Could you sit down and eat half a dozen bananas? Probably not, right? Because you get full from the bananas versus the cookies, but it's probably the same calories. You see what I'm getting at? So same when it comes to another one like protein, especially natural protein like chicken or fish or meat or things like that. It's very satiating. Like, again, you could eat 6 cookies. Could you eat 6 chicken breasts? No, right? You're not going to sit down and eat 6 chicken breasts. You're going to get full because it's the higher volume. And of course, it is more satiating. The cookies and the processed foods, see, they are chemically engineered to make you just want to consume more and more and more. It's a food in its unnatural state. And when you consume it, like especially you're buying store-bought cookies and biscuits and chocolate bars and everything else, like it's not an accident that you eat that stuff and it just makes you hungrier and you want to eat more and more, because food scientists have actually come up with the right combination of sweetness and saltiness and texture and everything else and flavor to make you just want to eat and eat and eat and consume more and more and more, because obviously the more you eat, the more you buy, the more money they make. And it's just this never-ending cycle. They don't care if you get fat in the process. They're just trying to make money. So these foods are chemically processed to make you want to just consume, and they're not designed to fill you up, right? They're just designed to make you consume. Whereas natural unprocessed foods, they are naturally filling. They're naturally satiating. Like you could sit down and eat a whole bag of potato chips, but like you just can't sit down and eat a whole bag of apples, right? Like you just physically can't, right? Your belly just is not going to take it. Or you can't take like a whole bag of kale salad and just eat the whole bag, but you could certainly eat a whole bag of Doritos. You know what I mean? Like it's the natural foods are filling, and your body, like you don't even need to force yourself to stop eating it. Like you will just not want to eat it anymore. Whereas when it comes to the junk foods, like you have to like pry it out of your hands, because you eat one and it just makes you want to eat more and more. Next thing you know, you're scraping the bottom of the ice cream container, or you're eating the last chip out of the bag or the last cookie out of the box, and you're still looking for more because it doesn't satisfy you. Whereas real food does. So just making that switch from processed to real food, I mean, that alone would move like 99% of everybody in the right direction towards reaching their fitness and fat loss goals. Just that one shift alone, right? Fill up on real food versus the processed foods. Anyway, There, that's your answer. Robbie is saying, I'm thinking about getting a home gym. Any suggestions? Yes, I have some suggestions. First off, check your local classifieds. Like Kijiji, Craigslist, eBay, whatever local classifieds you have in your area. Check the local classifieds, because very often you can get some amazing deals on home gym equipment, and very often you'll get it for less than half price of buying it new. Most of the stuff that I have in my home gym, I bought through local classifieds. I got a power rack, I got barbell, I got a PowerTech adjustable bench setup. What else did I get? I got a York adjustable bench, cable crossover station. That's a part of the power rack. So it's power rack with cable crossover station. What else was there? But anyway, I got a damn good home gym, and I got it for like less than half price if I had bought it new. And ironically, the home gym that I bought was new, because the people that I bought it off, they had actually went and invested all this money. They bought a brand new home, and they stocked the basement with this well-equipped home gym. And the man of the house ended up getting a work transfer like a month later. So here he was. He had his home gym, all their stuff. I mean, they just kind of like settled in, right? They were going to settle in. Here it had their home gym, everything ready to go. And then he gets a transfer. He has to move to the other, out west, the other side of the country for work. So they had to sell everything off, and they were in a hurry to sell it off. So I ended up getting an amazing deal. Right? I got it for less than half price of what they paid for it, and I didn't have to pay any shipping or taxes or customs or whatever, because it was a cash deal through the local classified. So I got like a killer deal on a home gym, and the stuff was like brand new. There wasn't even a scratch on the paint. Like, it was like hardly used, brand new equipment. Right? An amazing deal. So check the local classifieds. Now, of course, it's hit or miss. Like, you might find something that's amazing, or you might not see anything. But if you're in the market for a home gym and you're not in a hurry, like you have to have it like right now, keep browsing the classifieds and just see what pops up. I mean, you can get some amazing deals. I've known a lot of people who got stuff like that. Same with cardio. Cardio machines you can buy through there. One thing I will suggest: don't get cheap quality gym equipment. Like, very often when you're looking through the classifieds, you'll see the cheap like department store gym equipment for sale. Don't buy department store quality gym equipment. Spend the extra money to get gym quality gym equipment. Don't waste your money with the cheapy stuff, right? Because it's not built to last. It's crap, right? You want good quality stuff. And if you're unsure, I mean, you can go search it online. Like, you can type in any piece of exercise equipment you want online and read reviews of it and see the pros and the cons and all that kind of stuff. Go search for it on Amazon and read the reviews and see what it's like. But that's what I would suggest. Do that first before you go buying brand new equipment. Also, you can check out the local gyms in your area, right? Just call them up or go visit them, and then just say, hey, you got any used equipment? Because a lot of times when gyms are getting in new equipment, they're selling off their old stuff. Like, I know the gym that I train at, Platinum Health and Fitness, like, the place is blocked with equipment. So like, if he gets in some new equipment, sometimes he has to sell off some of the old stuff, and the old stuff is still in great, would be awesome for a home gym. So, I mean, maybe he wants to get in some new bench presses, or he wants to get in some new treadmills, and he sells off the old ones. Like, you can buy them and get them like an amazing deal compared to buying it brand new. So check out gyms in your area, whether they're in business or going out of business, it doesn't matter. Like, call them up and just see, if you're selling off any equipment, let me know. And you can sometimes get some amazing deals that way. All right. Nazim saying he can hear Harvey in the background having fun. Yes, he is. He is having fun. He was at daycare today, so he's off daycare, and now he's all full of piss and vinegar, as a 3-year-old should be. Mo is joining in. He says, I love your live streams. Thank you, Mo. Appreciate it. We have Graz Maiden from the Netherlands. Says, hope you're doing fine. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the support. Must be getting late over there. So I know, obviously the further east you go, the later it gets. Pinkish is saying, I lost a good amount of weight and looked really good, but then but then again back to normal routine and gain the weight back. And due to my job, it's getting difficult to maintain my diet. So how can I do a transformation again? You need to get some habits in place here. Like, you saying that your job is preventing you from losing weight, or like, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It doesn't take any more time to eat clean food than it does to eat junk food. Like, in order for you to eat junk food, you have to go out of your way to eat junk food, right? In order for you to eat like it's you go to the grocery store, all right? You put food from the shelf into your cart, right? Like, you take it home, you have to cook it. Like, it's the same process. It's just like you could be eating clean food or you could be eating junk food. And guess what? You can get healthy fast food, right? I actually made a YouTube video about that a few months ago. Healthy fast food options. Like, seriously, it does not take any more time or effort other than, I guess, the willpower and the discipline to eat clean versus just given to eat whatever crap your taste buds desire. Other than that, but as far as time and schedule, like people saying, oh, my job is making me eat bad, or I'm busy, so I have to eat bad. No, it takes the same amount of time to eat crap food as it does to eat good food. Seriously. I mean, once you wrap your head around this and you actually see the bigger picture, and you not only you see it and understand it, but you start to live it and you know it internally. Like, I've been doing this for the past couple of years, and like, I'm not spending all day in the kitchen cooking. Like, I'm not taking any more time out of my schedule to eat a clean, healthy diet than I was when I was just eating whatever crap that I wanted, and I was getting fat in the process. Like, seriously, it does not take any more time to eat clean than it does to eat good. You just got to know what to do. You got to have some strategies. You got to have some action plan. You just got to make the habit and nutrition choices and learn how to do it. So if you want some help with this, again, send me an email. I'd be more than happy. We can have an email chat to back and forth. And if you want, we can even jump on the phone, have a strategy session call, and see if we can come up with a realistic action plan that works for you. So send me an email, leeh@leehayward.com, and we can have a chat. We have Brandon tuning in, Logical Orders tuning in. He says this is Logical Order saying, I injured my shoulder. Will I lose muscle taking a month off but eating enough protein? First off, you injured your shoulder. That doesn't mean you have to take a month off, because the shoulder is like one body part. You have legs, you have other body parts that you can work. Like, you don't have to stop exercising because of a shoulder injury. Now, granted, I know a shoulder injury does impact a lot of body parts, but chances are you can still work around it if you're smart about it and you choose your exercises carefully. Like, one injury doesn't mean that you have to stop training. I'll give you a prime example. Like, back in November of last year, it's only a few months ago, I tore my tricep. Now, granted, it was only a muscle tear. It wasn't a full tendon detachment tear. So I was very fortunate. It actually healed up quite nicely. Still not 100%, but I would say, like, I'm a good back to 90% of where I was, right? Like, I'm still not able to push it to 100%, but I can train no problem. I can go in the gym and work out, and it's no pain or problem. But when I had that tear initially, and I mean, it bruised, it got discolored and everything else, and it hurt like a SOB. So obviously I can't push myself with a tricep tear, but I still went into the gym. I still did cardio. I still trained legs. I still did a lot of machine exercises, and I worked around the injury. I remember several years back, my wife broke her wrist. So, I mean, obviously if her wrist is broke, it kind of puts a limitation, but she still did the same thing. She trained her legs. She still did cardio. She still did some upper body exercises that she could get away with without gripping or using her wrists. Like, the pec deck fly with the butterfly attachment. She was using that. Like, you make the best of your situation. Just because you have an injury doesn't mean that everything has to come to a screeching halt. Like, you can work around the injury. So that's what I want you to do in your case. Like, find what you can do comfortably, even if you have to lighten up the weight, like, and go through the motions. Like, going through the motions with lightweight is better than sitting on your ass watching Netflix, right? Like, seriously, do what you can do. Always make the best of your situation. Yeah, and of course, the diet is huge as well, right? I mean, don't use the excuse, oh, I'm injured, I can't work out, oh, I'm going to eat like crap. Because then that's just like, okay, you got one bad thing, and then you just stacked a whole bunch of other bad things, and now what was a little minor setback turns into a big major setback because of all the other poor choices that you stacked on top of it. All right, just that little shoulder injury, like it's not a big deal, right? You can work around it, especially if it's no serious muscle, tendon, or ligament tears. I mean, if it's just a strain and you kind of just need to give it some time to recover, it's not a major setback in the greater scheme of things, right? Okay, who else? Jacob is joining in. Do you have any good recipes for making bulk shake? I mean, I guess you mean like weight gainer shakes. I'm not a big fan of bulk shakes, if you will. I recommend eating food. But it all depends on the situation. Like if somebody's like super skinny, rapid, fast metabolism, whatever, having some high calorie shakes and smoothies can definitely help. What I recommend, first step, download that free report. And it's actually for Steve, that's your question right there. Right below your question is a link to that report, the old school bulking one. Download that because that covers strategies for gaining muscular body weight. It covers training, nutrition, and mindset. Download that, read that through. It's a very detailed free PDF report. That will lay the foundation. And then after you go through that, if you have any specific questions related to your situation, then let me know and we can take it from there. But start with that. Start with the foundation. How much protein for an advanced bodybuilder when bulking? Honestly, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight or in that vicinity is enough. You don't need to go boat loading protein. Like I've heard ridiculous numbers, and I've even tried ridiculous numbers in the past, and it does not make a big difference. Like I've even went at one stage, I was eating 2 grams protein per pound of body weight per day. Like I was trying to slam back 400 grams of protein a day. And other than having very smelly farts and a bloated belly, it didn't do anything for helping me to actually build lean muscle. Like 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day is going to meet your body's protein needs. Like it's going to be enough protein to build and repair muscle tissue. Then you want to fill up on like some quality carbohydrates, healthy fat, good natural unprocessed foods, get your fruits and your veggies and all that good stuff. Like bulking is overrated when it comes to building muscle because you can only build so much muscle. Then the rest is just stored body fat. Like you need such a small calorie surplus to actually build lean muscle. And like when people start bulking and they're just slamming back food, yeah, the weight goes up on the scale. Yes, you fill out. Yes, you look bigger and all that kind of stuff, but it's not lean mass. It's water, it's bloat, it's body fat, and it's glycogen being pulled into the muscles. And yeah, there's a little bit of muscle built as well, but most of it is just water and fat. Seriously, when people bulk up, I would say a good 75% of what they gain is water and fat. It's not muscle. So if you want to make lean gains, which most people should want to make lean gains, you need such a small calorie surplus. In fact, it's so small that I actually tell people eat maintenance calories, because just by eating maintenance calories, chances are you're going to go a little bit above anyway, and that would put you in that slight surplus that you need. Like you do not need to purposely force feed yourself to bulk up, especially if you got some extra body fat. Like if you're looking down and you're not seeing ripped 6-pack abs, you don't need to gain more weight, right? Like unless you are like shredded right now and you're like, I need to put on weight. No, like you need such a small calorie surplus to actually build muscle. It's this idea of trying to force feed yourself and slam back, excess protein, excess carbs, excess calories, and just eat and the whole dirty bulk and all that kind of crap. No, you're just going to become a fat slob if you do that. So again, to answer your question, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is plenty. Right? There's no need to really go over that. Lots of people are commenting on how I look slimmer, and I already mentioned that earlier in the chat, how I am in contest prep mode now. So I'll be competing in a few weeks' time, right? Going to be doing the Newfoundland Provincial Championships, Lord willing, if everything goes ahead, because who knows the way things could be going now with the whole virus fear. I mean, like there's not a single case of coronavirus in Newfoundland at all, but I mean, still everyone is panicking and the fear is there, and so it should be. I mean, I'm not saying there should be fear, but there should be precaution. That's the better word. It should be precaution. So hopefully the show doesn't get canceled, but if it does, so be it. I'll still do a photo shoot nonetheless, because I mean, hey, I'm getting in shape. I want to capture this to enjoy it the best I can. Which protein foods can I stock up for the quarantine? If you do get quarantined, God forbid, but if you do, I mean, protein powder, canned protein foods, like you can get canned tuna, canned chicken, canned fish, like canned salmon, like canned stuff, frozen meats, frozen fish, frozen chicken, like all that kind of stuff can last. That's what I would stock up on if you are fear that you may get quarantined. I would definitely stock up on those. Also, like canned and frozen vegetables, canned and frozen fruit, rice, pasta, oatmeal, all these non-perishable foods that are going to last for a long time, right? You know, ideally frozen. Like if you have a big freezer or deep freeze, like you got it made, because you can stock that freezer up with food, and of course it'll last a long time. But if you don't, then obviously you're going to have to resort to like canned foods or packaged foods, as in like oatmeal and rice and pasta, canned tuna, canned chicken, canned fish, that kind of stuff, bags of protein powder or tubs of protein powder, whatever. Like that's all stuff that it's not the best. Like I prefer to eat fresh, real food, but I mean it's still, from a nutritional point of view, it's still good, and it'll get you through a jam for sure. If I'm doing bicep curls with dumbbells, should I do the same number of reps with each arm? If one arm can do more reps than the other, should I take both to failure? You do the same number of reps for each arm. So if one arm is stronger than the other, stop once the weaker arm hits failure. And what this is going to do is it's going to help to balance out the muscle development between the left and right arms. So let's just say your left arm is weaker. So you're doing curls and you hit failure at 8 reps with your left arm, but you know you can still do more with your right. Don't do them. Just stop when your weaker arm hits failure. And over time, what this is going to do, it's going to help that weaker arm to eventually catch up to the stronger arm, because the stronger arm is not getting pushed to muscular failure, so it's not going to grow as fast, whereas the weaker arm is getting pushed to failure, so hopefully it will grow a bit faster. And over the course of several weeks and several months, and probably even, you know, it could literally take years in some cases, but you will see an improvement. Now, I'm just going to give you a heads up. When you have an imbalance, one side stronger than the other, which 99% of the people out there have some form of imbalance. Like very few people are perfectly symmetrical and developed and equal from left to right. Like I'm stronger in one arm than I am in the other arm. I'm bigger in one arm than I am in the other, right? Like most people are. Like even Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his day, his right arm was more impressive than his left. You know, look at a lot of top level bodybuilders, and you look at them, like especially like take a front double bicep pose. More often than not, one arm is going to be bigger than the other. Now, chances are you're probably not going to notice it until you actually start looking at it, because like we're our own worst critic. Like we look at our own body with most criticism, but we look at other people's bodies with less criticism. So if you actually look at another person's body with a critical eye, you'll see, hey, man, he's got one leg that's bigger than the other. He's got one arm that's bigger than the other. Maybe one chest is a bit fuller than the other. You know, one lat's a bit fuller than the other. Like, wow, he's not perfect. I thought he was, but he's not. And that's the way it is for most people. So if you have an imbalance, then what I want you to do is just train both sides equally. And of course, single limb exercises would be the best, like dumbbells or machine exercises that allow independent movement, like hammer strength machines or cable resistance machines, or something that allow each side to have independent movement. That would be better over barbells or machines that allow you to lift the weight equally with both arms, because that will just force each side to handle an equal workload. And over time, it'll help to minimize the imbalance. It may never perfectly correct it, but it will minimize it. All right. So hopefully that helps. And thank you for the super chat tip that you shared as well. I appreciate it. Let's see. Mr. Java Bali, I think his name is. Thanks for answering my question about the forearm training. I tried to reply to your email, but my messages kept coming back. Maybe you typed in the email incorrectly. Lee H, L-E-E-H, as in Hayward, the letter H, at leehayward.com, Leehayward.com. or like if you want, you can. I always, in the description of these videos, I post my email address so you can see it if you want to like copy and paste it, or you can like contact me through Facebook. I'm quite active there. You know, you can just go to my website, leehayward.com. You can contact me through there as well. You'll see my contact information. So if the emails are getting bounced back, then you probably typed in the wrong address. Just saying. Abram saying, Lee, do you get tired of hearing everybody's excuses for not getting fit? I don't know if I get tired of it. It's just I hear it, and I don't get tired of it because I can relate to them. Because it's not too long ago I was making those excuses too, right? I mean, it's a mental block, is what it is, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to overcome the mental blocks, because when it comes to building muscle, losing fat, getting in shape, living a healthy lifestyle, the physical how-to, as in like, what exercises do I do? What calories do I eat? You know, what macros, what foods, like all the how-to is out there. Like you're on YouTube right now. You type in YouTube, best chest workout, best leg workout, best diet, best whatever. Like you'll get thousands upon thousands of videos telling you this is what you have to do. So lack of know-how isn't the problem. Like you go on Google, type in workout, diet, anything like that. Boom, you get thousands upon thousands of results. So like everybody has all the information. Like there's no shortage of information. It's dealing with the mental BS up here and actually taking that information and applying it for you, your situation, your lifestyle, and doing it consistently and setting it up so that you can actually follow through and enjoy the process. That's the hard part. It's not the how-to, right? I mean, I can throw out, hey, eat 2,000 calories, eat 200 grams of protein, eat this many macros, eat this many carbs, do this many sets, reps, and blah, blah. I can tell you to do all that. I mean, I've got videos showing you like full-on workouts, like I've everything. Like it's all out there. But people just, the fact that it's there doesn't mean that you can actually take it and use it. So we got to overcome all the mental blocks. And that's the hard part. That's where coaching comes in. It's not giving you more how-to. Like everybody's got enough how-to as it is you need to take all the how-to that you already know and actually start applying it. And that's the hard part. That's where people get hung up. And then the problem we have these days is it's not lack of information, it's too much information, because then we have analysis, paralysis by analysis, because this fella says to do this, and then that coach says to do that, and then this one says go keto, and this one says eat carbs, and then this one says go carnivore, and this one says go vegan, this one says high intensity, this one says low intensity, this one says do cardio, this one says don't do cardio. Like, holy shit, like what do I do? And then when you're confused, then guess what? You don't do anything. So that's where you need a coach to say, all right, like forget all the crap and clutter, right? Because that's not applicable to you. Like a lot of people are trying to accumulate knowledge, like just more and more knowledge, like information and more knowledge. That's not where it's at. Like true wisdom is not accumulation. True wisdom is elimination. It's eliminate all the crap that doesn't apply to you, all the crap that you don't need to be worried about, and just focus on these few essential things, these few things that are actually going to move the needle and make progress. So all that noise, all that crap, let's just forget about that. And let's focus on just doing these few things consistently, mastering them, making it a part of your lifestyle. And then guess what? People start to see progress, right? The weight starts to come off. You know, they start to get leaner. They start to get stronger. They start to feel better. And it's just by eliminating the crap and focusing on the few key essentials that are actually going to start making them progress. And that's what I really try and focus on when I'm helping people one-on-one. It's not giving them more. It's actually giving them less, but helping them master doing less and getting better results, if that makes sense. All right. Where was I going with that question anyway? I get on a rant sometimes. And holy shit, look at the time. I've been doing this for almost an hour and a half now. It's time for me to clue it off. Okay, do I get tired of hearing everybody's excuses? That's where that one came from. All right, Steve saying, thanks, I got the PDF, good. Yeah, again, it's in the links there in the video chat. You want to go scroll through, you can download that free PDF file, the old school bulking program. Even if you're not trying to bulk, I mean, you can still read it. I mean, it's still good information there, but it's specifically geared towards people who are trying to fill out their frame, pack on some more muscular body weight. If your goal is to lose body fat, then you probably don't want to be following that. It's because, or at least not all of it, not the nutrition side of it, because it'd be too many darn calories. We have I can't pronounce your username. Ewin, EWICN. Ewinson. Lee, I'm literally eating your pumpkin pie recipe for the first time right now. It's amazing. This is a game changer for me. So filling, so good. Thank you for sharing your secrets. You're welcome, my friend. Glad you enjoyed that one. That's one that I came up with like literally just a couple months ago. Like this was me just getting in creative mode, looking at different foods, different calories, like measuring things out. Like what's a good combination of something that I can mix up here? And I came up with that pumpkin pie recipe. Like I didn't get it off anybody else. I came up with it on my own and just started. It's not that complicated now, but I just tried it and I'm like, wow, this is good. One thing that I will recommend if you want to make that even a little bit better and more pumpkin pie-ish, I didn't do it in the video, but you can use cinnamon or pumpkin pie spice and add it into the mixture. So stir in like a quarter teaspoon of cinnamon or a quarter teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, and it will really give it a nice little extra nice taste. And only trace amounts of calories. Like a little bit of cinnamon or a little bit of pumpkin pie spice is not going to add like a few calories at most, but it's going to add a lot of flavor and make it even better. So something you might want to try the next time you make it. And I actually stocked up on pumpkin today when I was at the grocery store. So I got several cans of that because I'm going to be eating that kind of stuff more often, especially now as I'm, trying to lean out over the next few weeks, eating more of that high volume food because it gives you the eating satisfaction, fills your belly, makes you, feel full, but it's so low in calories. So you're still burning fat even though you feel full, which is awesome. Let's see what else we've got here, guys. Actually, guys, I'm going to have to clue it up. I know there's still a few more questions coming through, but I'm going to have to draw the line here now because I still have some work to do, and it's dinner time here at the Hayward household, so I'm going to have to clue it up. Thanks for tuning in. I always appreciate the support, appreciate the comments and feedback and everything else. As always, what I'll do is I'll get the replay of this posted up along with the timestamps. So if there's any questions that you want to go back over, you can always go review the timestamps, and you can do the same thing with all the past video chats. Like you want to scroll through my videos, you can open them up and you can always just read through and see a list of all the questions and topics covered and just jump to the ones that interest you the most versus listening to the whole hour and 32 minutes as I'm speaking right now. That's a long video chat. I usually try and keep these to an hour, but sometimes I just don't know when to shut up and I go for an hour and a half. All right. Have yourself a great one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the chat. Stay safe, wash your hands, be clean, all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you next week. Take care. Over and out.